Okay, this is section 6.6. We're into day 2 now. So right now we are looking at multiplying and dividing functions. This first video is going to be simply multiplication. So what you're going to see here with multiplication is you're going to see this kind of function notation. You have f times g of x, or you have f of x times g of x. Both of these, again, just like addition and subtraction, mean the exact same thing. It's just a different way to write it. Okay, so in this case, we're going to put f, the function f, first, and then we're going to take that times the function g second. Now, a couple of things here on how to multiply functions. To multiply functions, you're going to take the two functions and multiply them together. In some cases, you might have two binomials where you have to use the FOIL method. In some cases, you might have to use the distributive property if it's a monomial times a binomial. Okay, either way, you're going to use some type of multiplication. Then you're going to try and simplify as much as possible by combining like terms or things like that. The third step, you're not going to have to worry about. We're not going to worry about right here. We're not going to worry about identifying domain. Okay, so you're simply going to be multiplying two functions together. You're going to be using the distributive property or FOIL, and then simplify. Now, we're also going to put in numbers as well on these. So we're also going to have to be able to do that and then plug in a number. Okay, so let's look at these first two examples here. And the two examples I have for multiplication are 1 and 2. Okay, so in this case for 1 and 2, let's start with problem number 1. On problem number 1, we want to take f of x times g of x. F of x is 2x minus 1. G of x is 4x minus 4. So what I'm going to do here, f of x is 2x minus 1. And we're going to take that times g of x, which is 4x and minus 4. So essentially, I have two sets of parentheses with binomials in them. Okay? So I have to use the FOIL method here, or distributive property, however it is, rainbows, whatever it is that you feel most comfortable with. First thing I'm going to do here is 2x times 4x. Well, that is 8, and then x squared. 2 times 4 is 8. X times x is x squared. Then I'm going to go 2x times negative 4. Well, that's negative 8x. Then I'm going to go negative 1 times 4x. That's negative 4x. And then at the end, negative 1 times negative 4. That's positive 4. Okay, so now I'm going to combine my like terms if possible. Well, we see here, we have like terms here in the middle. So the 8x squared doesn't have anything to combine with. Negative 8x and negative 4x is negative 12x. And then I bring down my plus 4. Okay, do you have any other terms here that we can combine? No, we don't. This is your simplified final answer. So essentially, this is just doing the FOIL method and distributive property is all this really truly is. It's a fancy way to look at it. Okay, the second example now with this one, number 2. You'll notice this time I've got g of x is 3x plus 5, h of x is negative 4x plus 4. And I want to take g times h, and then I'm going to plug this guy in. Again, at the end, once I combine my like terms and everything, this tells me I'm going to plug in a number 1 for x. Okay, so let's start out with g. G of x is 3x plus 5. H of x is negative 4x plus 4. And I'm going to multiply these guys together. Again, two binomials. Now, if it was a monomial times a binomial, all I would have to do would be distribute. Okay, but in this case, we got two binomials. So 3x times negative 4x is negative 12, and then x squared. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. X times x is x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. 5 times negative 4x is negative 20x. And 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so again, you'll notice the middle two terms are like terms here. So negative 12x squared, can't do anything with that. Positive 12 and negative 20 is negative 8x. And then bring down the plus 20. Okay, now, this is where I have to plug in the 1. So it's going to be negative 12 times 1 squared minus 8 times 1 plus 20. Notice whenever I put in a letter, or excuse me, whenever I put a number in, I always put it in inside parentheses. So now I'm using PEMDAS just like we did with addition subtraction. Exponents are first, so negative 12, 1 squared is 1. Okay, and then negative 12 times 1 is negative 12. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. And bring down my plus 20. And now I'm going to work left to right here. Negative 8 and negative 12 is negative 20. And then negative 20 and positive 20 is 0. So my answer happens to be 0. Now, it's not always going to be 0. In this case, it just happened to work out that way. Okay, but now you can see what it looks like when you multiply and then you have to plug in a number. All right, you should be able to complete your first page here of Class Kick examples with multiplication.